So as you may have noticed, we had an education segment, a business segment, migration, clearly a huge part. So now we'd like to finish off with a few quick burst sparks and an insight blast, the final one. But before that, I'd like to invite Teddy's son, Teddy, onto stage, please. If you would give a round of applause to Teddy. Teddy conceptualized and hosted a brainstorming session yesterday. Actually, why don't you tell us?
Sure, thank you, Lotfe. So when Lotfe first came to me, and just as background, I'm a student here at LSE, about how to engage the student community in polarization, we sort of came up with this idea for a hackathon together. Because the LSE community is so diverse. We have 150 different nationalities, 100 different languages spoken. And for our student community, it's really a topical issue about polarization. And I thought, what better thing to do than to have a hackathon event. And hackathon, for those of you who don't know, is basically an intense brainstorming session where people work in groups to come up with ideas that they can then present. And so we challenged a group of students about what they can do to address polarization. And is there a clicker?
The clicker, did Alex run away with the clicker?
Ah, okay. Yeah, so this was yesterday. We got a group of really fantastic people together, and we also got experienced mentors from different fields, from academia to social enterprise to corporate sector. And we gathered here in the LSE Student Union, and we worked on some really fascinating ideas. So firstly, we had the mentor sessions where people gave elements of their experiences. And then everybody sat down in groups, and we had pizza, and we had some brainstorming, and we really explored. So I wanted to present to you 5 ideas that came out of the evening from our participants. The first one is using virtual reality to mitigate discrimination. I'm sorry, you can't see the bottom. So recently, if you know about Airbnb, which is a room hosting website, they have problems with discrimination between the hosts and the guests. And what one of our groups thought was really interesting is to use virtual reality on the online Airbnb platform so that people can immerse themselves in the cultural background of the person that they're hoping to stay with. So rather than just using it as a hotel room, they will instead go into, through their computer, into the normal lives of their hosts or their guests and see what their communities are like and to walk around the streets with them. And that way it would help them to understand people from different backgrounds. Our second idea was a matching service. So from our Facebook feeds, it's fairly easy to tell what someone's political affiliation is. And it's also able to track people's interests and so forth. And you might have heard of a very famous app called Tinder, which matches people based on their similarities. Well, we thought maybe we can make a different app that also uses people's Facebook information, but instead it matches people from across the political spectrum. So we will match someone from the left with someone from the right, someone who perhaps supports the Green Party with someone who supports UKIP. And similarly, they can come and talk to each other and maybe find they have things in common, for example. The third idea is a news streaming service, but again, people from the recent US elections realized that we're all in the echo chamber of our own making. So we listen to news that agree with us. We speak to friends who agree with us. So it's very difficult to understand the other side. Whereas this news streaming service will add on top of your own selections something different into the mix. It will give you the opposite point of view so that it will regularly sort of suggest news articles or sources that you've never thought about engaging with. And this is a way for the users to understand what the other side is really thinking. The fourth idea is a food collection service. So here we think, so Deliveroo and Uber Eats and all of this is delivering food to people who are, relaxing in their homes. But what about the people who have to go to sleep hungry? Isn't that a problem that we need to look at? So instead, what we thought about was having a collection service where you have a large event and you have leftover food that's in perfect quality, or if you have you order too much raw ingredients for something but you're not able to use it, then you use this app to call the delivery service, which then takes the ingredients or the food to a homeless shelter for the people there. And our last idea is a community activities organization app. So here, where people in the local community want to do something together, they can organize themselves. So for example, if they decided that the local playground was too run down, then everyone from the local community can contribute ideas and then get together to organize a day where they can work together to solve this problem. So this is basically some of the ideas that we came up with, and it's we had a very sort of intense brainstorming session, and people had a lot of fun. So, yeah.
Thank you very much.